There is something deeply satisfying about watching a green seedling bursting through the soil right in your living room, especially when it's freezing outside. But if you've ever tried to figure out how to actually keep that plant alive, you know the internet is a mess of conflicting advice. One person says you need a $50 light. Another says you need a $500 tent. This diagram shows the problem. Indoor gardening isn't one hobby. It's 3 distinct paths. Picking the wrong one ensures failure. Path 1 is aesthetics, low-friction decor growing. Path 2 is functional, trading space for steady greens. Path 3 is high-tech agronomy, requiring heavy investment. To actually get a harvest, you have to match your chosen crop's biological needs to the exact amount of money, space, and effort you will spend to replace Mother Nature. When you move plants inside, you are no longer relying on a natural ecosystem. You become the weather, the soil, and the predator control. If you scoop cheap outdoor garden soil into a pot and bring it inside, you are also bringing dormant pest eggs into a warm environment that has 0 natural predators. The trade-off is a guaranteed pest infestation. You will spend your winter fighting aphids and fungus gnats, constantly applying organic treatments just to keep the plants alive. You can avoid those bugs by purchasing sterile indoor potting mixes. This eliminates the initial pest vectors and ensures proper air circulation around the roots. But sterile soil comes with a higher upfront cost. Because there are no natural nutrients in the bag, you have to manually measure and add synthetic or organic liquid fertilizers every few weeks. This technical schematic shows a continuous ebb and flow hydroponic system. A pump sends liquid nutrient solution from a reservoir to a gravel bed. The trade-off. This requires construction skills, dedicated floor space, and introduces real leak risks indoors. Your choice of foundation dictates your daily chores. You'll either spend time fighting bugs, mixing liquid nutrients, or plumbing plastic pipes. Once your foundation is set, you have to power the growth. Lighting is the engine of your indoor garden. The true measure of this energy is PAR, photosynthetically active radiation, which is the actual light plants use to grow. This chart shows 30 to 60 watt LEDs barely reaching the vegetative growth threshold, limiting you to low-calorie greens. Upgrading to a 150 to 200 watt LED crosses the threshold required for climbing crops and small peppers. To get that yield, you have to dedicate a 2 by 4 foot footprint in your home, but these panels emit a harsh glare and heat. A commercial 1000 watt LED with UV and IR spectrums pushes PAR to a top-tier threshold, simulating full summer sun. That power comes with severe electricity costs. It also mandates a dedicated grow tent with active ventilation to prevent your apartment from overheating. You cannot cheat the light-to-yield ratio. Heavy caloric output is paid for directly through your monthly electricity bill. Beyond light and soil, you have to manage the physical architecture required to manage plant growth within the tight confines of a small apartment. Utilizing wall-mounted pegboards or self-watering vertical smart grids is an effective way to keep your kitchen counters clear. The limitation is that these grid systems restrict you to shallow-rooted herbs. You must install aggressive moisture protection to keep the damp soil from ruining your apartment's drywall. If you want to move beyond herbs, you can grow perfect flowered crops like peas. These have both male and female parts, allowing them to self-pollinate without needing bees. The reality of these climbing, fruiting crops is that they mandate at least 2 feet of vertical trellising. And since there is no wind indoors, you have to manually tap or shake the plants to drop the pollen. Maximizing your limited apartment space requires a direct increase in your daily manual labor. The ultimate reality of indoor growing is that agricultural yield will always cost you aesthetic convenience and floor space. This scorecard, titled The Blueprint, maps out 3 definitive systems tailored to specific lifestyles. For the aesthetic beginner, your gear includes sterile soil, chic vertical wall planters, and low-output 30 to 60 watt lights to support microgreens and basil. You won't see any real grocery bill savings here, but you get high flavor and 0 friction in a beautiful package. For the urban optimizer, your setup requires a 150 watt dimmable LED, a small drip tray rack, and staggered rotations of spinach and sugar snap peas. You have to sacrifice a corner of a room to slightly ugly equipment. In exchange, you get a steady, reliable winter salad supply. This document details technical specs for the DIY agronomist.
PVC piping, joints, and adapters for an ebb and flow system, paired with a 300-watt LED. The trade-off is obvious. You're managing a microfarm requiring heat management and manual pollination. Pick the path that matches your lifestyle, accept the trade-offs that come with it, and stop expecting a $20 window bulb to grow a tomato.